Welcome to your Business Intelligence Fundamentals course preparation session. Today, we are diving deep into the core concepts of business intelligence, and by the end of this lesson, you are going to walk away with complete clarity on this topic. So let's get started. First, what exactly is business intelligence, or BI? At its core, BI is a technology-driven process that converts raw, messy data into meaningful, actionable insights. Think of it as a translator that takes numbers and turns them into a story. Why does this matter for your career? Because every modern organization relies on BI to support strategic decision making. Instead of guessing what customers want, leaders use data to know for sure. BI achieves this by combining powerful analytics and data visualization tools. It takes the guesswork out of business and replaces it with hard facts. Keep in mind that BI isn't just about software, it's a completely new way of thinking about strategy. Now, let's visualize how this entire ecosystem actually works in the real world. Imagine you are looking at the central nervous system of a modern corporation. Data is constantly being generated from dozens of different sources: sales transactions, website clicks, social media interactions, and supply chain logistics. But this data is scattered and disorganized. The business intelligence architecture acts as a massive funnel. It captures all these chaotic streams of information and pulls them into a centralized, highly secure storage system, often called a data warehouse. Once the data is safely stored and organized, the BI tools take over. They query this massive repository to generate the beautiful, colorful dashboards and reports that executives look at every morning. Without this underlying architecture, those dashboards would just be empty screens. Understanding this flow, from raw data generation to central storage to final visual output, is absolutely critical for anyone looking to master business intelligence. It is the foundation that makes all advanced analytics possible. To get data into that central warehouse we just talked about, we use a critical process known as ETL. You will see this acronym everywhere in business intelligence. Let's break this down step by step. The first phase is extract. This is where we pull raw data out of various source systems, like CRM software, ERP systems, or flat files. We are simply gathering the raw materials. Next comes the transform phase, and this is where the heavy lifting happens. Raw data is often messy, duplicated, or formatted incorrectly. During transformation, we clean the data, filter out errors, and apply business rules so that everything is consistent and accurate. Finally, we have the load phase. This is where we take our newly cleaned and transformed data and load it into the final destination, which is typically a data warehouse. Mastering the ETL pipeline is essential, because if you put garbage data in, you will get garbage insights out. As you dive deeper into data storage, you will frequently hear two terms: data warehouse and data lake. Let's compare them so you know exactly when to use which. First, let's look at the data type. A data warehouse stores structured, highly cleaned data that has already gone through the ETL process. A data lake, however, stores raw, unstructured data in its native format like raw text, images, or log files. Next, consider the primary users. Because a data warehouse is structured, it is built for business analysts who need to run standard queries. A data lake is a playground for data scientists who need raw data to build complex algorithms. Finally, let's look at their core purpose. The warehouse is optimized for traditional business intelligence and reporting. The lake is designed for advanced analytics, predictive modeling, and machine learning. Understanding this distinction is a guaranteed exam topic, so make sure you lock this into your memory. Now that we understand the architecture and the data storage, what tools do we actually use to analyze this data? The buy market is dominated by a few major players that you need to be familiar with. First up is Microsoft Power BI. This is incredibly popular because it offers seamless enterprise integration with other Microsoft products like Excel and Azure. It is widely considered the industry standard for corporate reporting. Next, we have Tableau. Tableau is famous for its advanced visual analytics. If you need to create stunning, highly interactive dashboards that allow users to drill down into complex datasets, Tableau is often the tool of choice. Finally, there is ClickSense. Click is unique because of its associative data exploration engine. Instead of writing rigid queries, users can freely explore data in any direction, uncovering hidden relationships that traditional tools might miss. Knowing the strengths of these tools will help you choose the right one for your organization. Let's pause for a quick knowledge check to make sure these concepts are sticking. Here is your question. Which phase of the ETL process involves cleaning and applying business rules to raw data? Option A is extract. Option B is transform. And option C is load. Take a moment, think back to our diagram, and pick your answer. The correct answer is B, transform. Remember, the extract phase just pulls the raw data, and the load phase simply moves it to its final destination. It is during the transform phase that all the heavy lifting, data cleaning, and formatting actually takes place. This ensures that the data going into your warehouse is accurate and reliable for business reporting. If you got that right, fantastic job. You are tracking perfectly with the core fundamentals of data engineering within business intelligence. Let's keep this momentum going as we move forward. We have talked a lot about the back-end processes, but now let's look at the front end, the actual data visualization. What you are visualizing right now is the ultimate goal of any business intelligence initiative, a clean, interactive, and powerful dashboard. Why is visualization so important? Because the human brain processes images thousands of times faster than text or spreadsheets. Imagine handing your CEO a spreadsheet with 1 million rows of sales data. It would be completely useless. But if you take that exact same data and turn it into a dynamic heat map or a trend line, they can spot a declining market or a massive opportunity in a matter of seconds. Good data visualization doesn't just make data look pretty, it reduces the cognitive load on the decision maker. It highlights anomalies, tracks key performance indicators, and tells a compelling story. As a buy professional, your job is to be the storyteller, using these visual tools to guide your company toward success. Business intelligence isn't just one thing, it actually evolves through different levels of maturity. Let's write out the three main types of analytics you need to know. First, we have descriptive analytics. This is the foundation of buy. It answers the question, what happened, by looking at historical data. Standard monthly sales reports and basic dashboards fall into this category. Next, we move up to predictive analytics. This answers the question, what will happen next? Here, we use statistical models and forecasting techniques to predict future trends based on past behavior. Think of predicting next quarter's revenue. Finally, the most advanced stage is prescriptive analytics. This answers the question, what should we do about it? It uses complex algorithms, and optimization to recommend specific actions. Most companies start with descriptive analytics and slowly build their capabilities toward prescriptive. Understanding this maturity model is crucial for mapping out a long-term data strategy. We are nearing the end of our session, so let's lock in these concepts with a quick active recall exercise. I will give you a prompt, and I want you to guess the term before I reveal it. First, what do we call the central repository designed specifically for storing structured, cleaned data? Think about it. That is a data warehouse. Next up, what is the three-letter acronym for the process of moving raw data from its source into that warehouse? That is the ETL process: extract, transform, and load. Finally, which type of analytics specifically looks at historical data to answer the question, what happened? That is descriptive analytics. Active recall is one of the most effective ways to study, so if you struggled with any of these, I highly recommend reviewing the earlier sections of this lesson. You are doing great, let's finish strong. To wrap up our lesson, let's summarize the true business value of everything we have discussed today. Why do companies invest millions of dollars into buy? First, it eliminates gut feeling decisions. In the modern business world, relying on intuition is a recipe for disaster. Buy ensures every choice is backed by hard evidence. Second, it identifies new revenue opportunities. By analyzing customer behavior and market trends, companies can discover hidden niches and cross-selling opportunities they would have otherwise missed. Finally, by dramatically improves operational efficiency. It highlights bottlenecks in supply chains and automates tedious reporting tasks, saving thousands of man-hours. And that wraps up everything you need to know about business intelligence fundamentals for your business intelligence fundamentals course journey. In our next class, we will be moving on to advanced data modeling techniques, so make sure you stay tuned. For more practice materials and resources, visit Examiverse to learn more.